Hi, this is Art Life Video Blog number 144. I'm Moriah Merrit.
Jacob Wolf. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
So, do you want to just tell us briefly about yourself?
Briefly about myself. I'm a painter, sculptor, collagist, assemblage artist, and face and body painter. I've lived in Portland for a little over 8 years. I'm originally from Sacramento, California. And I like tacos and burritos.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
I too like tacos and burritos.
I am slightly nervous because the last couple of times I had a camera in my face were kind of funny. One time, really briefly, I was illegally busking at PSU, and some really cute, nice-looking kids came up to me and asked me if I wanted to be in their college video, and I was, oh yeah. I assumed it was people getting weird in Portland was their theme or something, and I signed the affidavit before I even asked them what it was about, and I was face painting, so I had my setup, and my little sandwich board has my full name and my address, my information on it. And they put the microphone in my face and they go, "When was the last time you got laid?" And I was just like, oh goodness. And the way I process things is all, before I process, wait, I can actually say never mind, not something I want to do while I'm face painting and I'm on eye level with children at the very same time, But I was stupid. I thought they were going to be promoting the face painting thing. But anyway, instead of just being I obliged them with a ton of goofy stories, tried to clown off and stuff, and then they just walk away, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I told them about my sex life leading up till now, and also said, yeah, and if your children are having any parties, that sort of thing. So
right on.
I'm surprised that I mentioned them in face painter.
So, what got you interested in art? How old were you?
What got me interested in art? I probably started doing. I did a lot of drawing and stuff in elementary school, but I kind of was one of those competitive kids. I wanted to be good at everything, so it got kind of filed. I would do little contests in class and do it as perfectly as I could. But I don't know if I really painted on my own at home until I was 14, and I did it a lot in high school. And I had some teachers that inspired me. I had some that nearly made me quit. I had an ROP class at the end of high school that was supposed to be for college placement, and everything was photorealism. They were basically taking Photoshop and taking an already made picture, taking it and warping it on Photoshop, and then using an opaque projector and tracing it and then copying it to the best of their ability for their portfolios. And I wasn't totally into doing it. And I could do it, but not as perfectly as the kids that have been doing it for 4 years.
Right.
So I thought I sucked. I literally thought I sucked because I couldn't do that until I got my heart ripped out pretty bad at 22 and started painting my hand for reals.
What were some of your early interests in painting and drawing?
Psychology and. Oh, you mean what? Watercolor was my first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not necessarily mediums. But so. My interest was I was always psychology.
Yeah. So everything was kind of surreal, introspective,
Right on.
Yeah. I like rendering, or can't. I don't like rendering. I can render, but yeah. Kind of from the beginning, I was even in sculpture classes, nothing to do with wheel throwing, everything to do with building, hand building, and so in drawing class, nothing to do with still life, but if they ever found a way to make it creative, I was all over that. I got attention in high school. I got a lot more in junior college.
When did you go to college?
I started junior college in 2000, and I was a psych major, and ended up going a couple of years later. I was married and everything too. Ended up going to Italy and living there for 5 months, and that changed me all the way over from psychology to art history, is what I thought I wanted to do.
Changed your interest?
Yeah, big time.
To art
I
history?
came home and thought I wanted to do art therapy, and then I just slowly was like, I'm like, the longer I was in school too, I'm like, I'm only taking my creative classes seriously at this point, So, but the support I got upon returning to junior college when I was about 25, that was what really made me like, okay. There was a teacher that was like, okay, you stick out like a bleeding thumb on fire, and not even for talent, like just my stuff got a lot of attention there. Just like, if you take this seriously, you can do that. I'm like, I'd rather do this.
So that was when you changed your focus to creating art.
And to fine arts,
and
primarily.
What were you working on? Like, what kind of projects were you working on at that time?
That's when acrylic and collage started. Since, ever since I was 24 and 25, the multimedia is the biggest.
And how has your work progressed from when you started doing the multimedia till now?
I could literally show you. No.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. I don't know. Some might actually prefer this style a little better though. But progressed. Things were used more for their content instead of their texture. And also very haphazardly. That was cute. Let's see. Angrier. It was mostly food too back in the day. Food. Pornographic food.
Is this
collages.
a cookbook?
Yeah, this is a Betty Crocker cookbook. I made some zines out of it because once I really got into it, this thing started falling apart. Let's see. Pretty simple stuff. Yeah.
And was this a college project?
It was a thing I already wanted to do that I took advantage of. College project to finish. Yeah. I believe I did do this for a class, actually.
How were other people reacting to your work when you said that you wanted to do collage and multimedia?
I have got a lot of support in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have shows. I mean, I was in group shows. I usually sell like 1 or 2 things, and I made it into any contest I would place. So, and it was hard to. That's what I kind of went off of for a while.
Is if you're.
Then I got out here, and there's like 1.5 million of me, so I had to dig a little.
So
deeper material.
When you got here, well, you went from Sacramento to Phoenix?
To Portland.
Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So 2007.
And how did your move affect your work? You said that there was a lot of you here.
Yeah. I went into a total choking blue period. Also, I'd split up from the person I basically consider my muse in order to come here. And so there was a brief period of kind of some work that I was basically only making maybe I can broadcast this to him somehow. Other than that, I had 0 ideas, 0 focus, and I was really intimidated going to school. And so that just made, I don't work good under pressure, I don't work good with nerves, and I was also kind of getting a lot of that the feeling that like 2D work and like regular fine arts, you know, was like that's over, you know, up here. That's what a couple of my teachers actually tried to say. They tried to talk me out of the sculpture department and stuff, like, oh, they're ancient. It's funny, but yeah. So both of those things, just being kind of like displaced for a minute.
Did you transfer to PNCA or no?
I transferred credits from a junior college.
But was it a direct?
No, I moved up. I moved up first, and then found the reason. I had always wanted to live in Portland.
me too.
Where are you from?
Nebraska.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a world of difference. What did PNCA do for you?
They lit a fire in our ass in one way, and then they also kind of. I wish I don't know. I wish I kind of would have been able to hear what some were trying to say that was helpful, but basically half the teachers were kind of on a weird program of discouraging people from doing their thing, you know, like, no, do some other thing, like get into some other thing. And I wish I would have kind of like held tight and defended my work instead of kind of doing a weird mix of like what I thought they wanted plus like, you know, then I like inevitably come out, so my critiques were like really complicated. You know, they'd say that, you need to talk a lot more, you need to do a lot more research, you need to bring in other artists, mention other artists so people like connect and care and that sort of thing. Do anything but be honest, you know. And I'm so bad at that. I just get it. I would get up and immediately be like, oh, it's a portrait of an interdimensional being, you know, literally.
And people didn't really like that.
No, some loved it. Some thought it was hilarious. But yeah, again, teachers either thought it was like pulling a fast one, or they're like, ooh, this one's going under drugs.
Did you?
I was older than almost everybody there. So,
did you graduate PNCA?
No, I left with a semester to go.
And
my father passed, and I took 2 years off of work, and that's when we went to Arizona.
And then came back here. What was your time in Arizona like? Interesting.
Sedona was neat. Sedona was like, we really stuck out. We stuck out in this weird way there. Like people either like wanted to attack us or they like followed us. You know, like yeah. There's some crazy energy out there. You know, people are like riding these like energy vortexes that are out there. And there's a lot of space too. You can see for just miles and miles and miles, and that's like it's good for you. But I think like. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of pretty unspaced out, happy people there.
Were you creating one?
Phoenix was a little different. Phoenix was Phoenix was like twice as big as Los Angeles or something, and it was kind of dirty and kind of a half mix of like, you know, there's like rednecks and there's like Mexico and there's like, you know, like Sedona kind of people, and the clash of that was funny.
What kind of work were you making in Arizona?
I actually got commissioned to do a mask for my friend who, she had a little, I want to call it a dance troupe, but they do a lot more. They're called the Sacred Circus. And it's kind of like a volunteer dance and entertainment troupe. They do a lot of shows, but they don't really force their performers to show up and practice, or and you know, like it's kind of like that's the reason why I say that, you know, they're interesting though. Like they use a lot of like audience interaction too. So every show is kind of totally different. Every show is kind of like a small miracle that didn't fall apart, and it's like fire dancers. And anyway, I made her a mask for a parade. She's in a spring parade.
Like
She's
a
gonna be
big
in-
mask, or
It was a huge mask. It covered like her down to her shoulders, and then had all this like fake hair. So she was completely blind, and she got in this thing on stilts too. I wish I would have known that she was gonna be on stilts.
oh man,
But yeah, basically this 40-pound, like it was scrap leather, and I didn't sew at the time, so I'd like put it all together with rivets and wire and stuff, and yeah, a big old hood, big brown hood, and this like dangling like red and white hair.
did she love it?
She loved it. And then they had they did a little, they do every year a big thing for Day of the Dead there, and a big thing for Halloween. But their Day of the Dead performance, I painted a lot of the actors and stuff for free.
Right.
Yeah.
When did you start doing body painting and face painting?
The face painting started when I was 16, and my mom worked at a daycare, and they had a little October festival every year, and they got tired of hiring a painter and knew that I could do it, so they used to have me go do it for free, like doing community service hours or something. So I did that every year until I was 21, and right around the time that I started losing interest in school, like probably around 2010, I started doing it a lot professionally.
And where can people find you when you're face painting? Like, where do you do that?
I have actually been asked to leave the spot I was in all summer, just because they're kicking everybody out basically. I guess the balloon guy got out of control one time, and so they're kicking everybody out. So where to find me? I have a profile on Thumbtack, and I am working on getting a website going for that right now. I lost all of my pictures when I came back from Arizona, so for a while all I had was my stuff on adults, like my pictures of my paintings on adults, and it wasn't, the online thing. I kind of gave up on the online thing for a minute. I'm like, I'm not gonna book children's parties with, like pictures of crazy adults with their face paint. But now I've got a time. So,
what kind of stuff do you do with your face paint? Like, I saw some of your pictures on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
What do you consider your style? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
It looks a lot like, I mean, it's my style. Well, it's hand painted first of all, and I use a lot of sparkles, and I do use a lot of black, but there's, like mixed colors. I'll do anything a kid asks me to do.
For sure.
I haven't really gone, I'm looking into going into doing way more of the because there's some awesome designs that are seriously like 5 strokes or something, and that's not the part I've really gotten down yet. I will like literally paint a picture on kids' paint, I'll literally, I'll forget sometimes even that I have like wider brushes and, awesome like rainbow cakes and everything sitting right there, the like tricks are there, sponges, but I still, because of this,
Do you find kids to get impatient?
No.
No. They just love it.
Yeah, they love it.
Okay, so you were doing like commission pieces and stuff in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Then you came back to Portland.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been doing since you've been back in Portland? Just a lot of face painting.
Face painting. We actually threw out that we did have a tiny little traveling stint again, but not back the same direction. And then working on some new collage, straight up collage. I was doing a lot of assemblage before the desert. That was the other funny part too, is like, it seems romantic, like an artist, and we saw other like artist and musician couples out on the road and stuff, but he's an electronic artist and I'm a collage artist, and it's kind of, not the best fit for like living in a Ford Econoline, like, 2 people.
Right.
It was amusing.
So what are your goals?
And I'm working more with I am working more with magazines again.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a new thing. I want to put like chance back into the project, you know, because anyone now can just print out, you know, whatever they want now, and even to the size you want it to be and stuff. And I wanted to show like collage is still pretty easy. That's how I've learned most of what I know about life is through like figuring out what lines line up, or trying to figure out why do these two things belong together. I like reconcile that. They do. You know?
Your style is definitely changed. Like this stuff is way different than the stuff that you were showing before.
Yeah. It was just, I mean, it's, you know, these are like feminine, but not, yeah, it's gotten softer.
No, I really dig it.
Refined.
Do you have goals or aspirations for the future regarding your art?
They would like personally to see more people interacting with them. I want to bring them to life. I want to make a painting that actually comes to life.
I'm a real boy!
Yeah. I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I've tried everything.
What do you think
I feed them, I sing
personality
them.
of one of these would be if it came to life?
Well, that. Let's see. Well, I don't know really. That one is super happy. That one right there is terrifying. That I have actually.
Spider?
Yeah, I don't know why. That one has actually tried to like move before on me. You know, I think they'd be happy monsters, basically. Fluid, you know. Like,
are they interdimensional
but like
beings?
good-natured demons, you know.
So, I didn't ask, like, when you said that.
Oh my God.
Your painting was a portrait of an interdimensional being.
Oh.
Was that like a true statement? Was that?
Sort of. Yeah. I was totally attempting to depict ether, you know, and while I was doing that, I was using a lot of different language around them though, but I had decided that I was having a spiritual experience, you know, and kind of the more I drew and summoned this thing, I even gave it a name, and the more I drew and kind of obsessed over it and stuff, and there were times where there was altered states involved and there were times where there wasn't, it started fleshing out. Like I started being able to actually see it, and it was changing as according to like how I was drawing it too.
Incredible.
Yeah, maybe that would fly in a class like nowadays, but yeah, like 5 years ago, in a straight up contemporary design class, they were like, oh, shut up.
Well, I think the last thing that I wanted to talk about is the gallery that I throw. It's called 4th F and Friday, and that's actually where we met, was I think the very first one back in January.
Was that the first one?
Yeah.
And was that really that long ago?
It's been a little bit.
Oh my God, I haven't hung out. Alright. Great chili. I remember that we had some chili.
Thanks, I appreciate that. I spent quite a bit of time making those chilies. But the next one will be October 30th. It'll be a kind of a Halloween costume party. And you're welcome to show art, or if you want to do face painting, you can do that too. It's really whatever you want to do to showcase yourself and your art.
Interesting. I can do like 10-minute zombies too.
That would be sweet. Especially if like little kids are coming in and they don't have costumes, just like a bunch of little zombies running around. But there's like always live music, free booze and food. We paint on the walls, and we do a raffle. So I asked all of the artists that I've interviewed if there's something small that they wouldn't mind donating for this raffle. It's not a requirement, but The art that I collect from donations goes in this big pile, and then any of the guests that come in can get a raffle ticket. If they do, at the end of the night we raffle off all the stuff, and people get really excited because the way it works is I'm like, okay, what piece are we gonna raffle off? They're like, we want that one. So I take it and I'm like, okay, who wants to draw? So then they draw, and it's just really interactive and fun.
That sounds fun.
I get super excited about it. Although I like form attachments to these pieces of art. I'm like, oh, I really love this piece of art, and then I get to hold on to it for like a month, and then I have to give it away, which sucks.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes.
You're like, this one I'm not gonna hang up. Oh, I hung it up.
Yeah, that's really all I have. The last thing I wanted to talk about. Do you have any last comments, questions, or concerns?
No.
No?
Not really.
All right. Thank you for letting me come.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Art Life Video Blog Day 144, and I'll see you again very soon.